holy shit, this is about to happen. Welcome to KindGirlsTalk. It's the ultimate kind girl, Tony Merced, and today I have a special guest, Miss Kristen Leverett. Hey girl, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. We're gonna, release our inner thoughts and tell, these mothers and fathers, the joys of parenthood.
Okay,
Let's talk
let's
about
do it.
that.
Yes.
Okay, and everything encapsulated in one. Okay. How can you get yourself prepared for that?
There's no way.
There's absolutely no way.
You have people scaring you.
Mm-hmm.
You have people being like, this is the best thing that's ever gonna happen.
Yep.
And then for me personally, I know I was like, holy shit, this is about to happen. Like I remember finding out I was pregnant. I took 7 pregnancy tests.
Mm-hmm.
I called all my friends and family, and my husband was on his bachelorette trip. So everybody else knew before he found out when he came home.
Shut up.
Yeah, because I was like, this.
So then what did he say when everyone else knows except, I can't say anything because I was walking around pregnant too and my husband did not know.
For how long?
I think it was like 6 weeks, and I'm just now telling him this. We were going on dates. We were going out, and it didn't dawn on me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm pregnant with this man's child.
Oh my God.
We're out going out. I'm not drinking,
Yeah.
Not drinking. Child, I wasn't even 21 yet. But,
But 6 weeks of
6
holding
weeks.
that? Oh,
Going
no,
out
no, no, no.
on dates, me knowing, because I found out when I was in Colombia, South America.
Okay. Ooh, what a nice place to find out.
Girl, no, it wasn't. I was not able to experience the
All
country.
the things, yeah.
Because when I tell you, I was crying because
Yes.
I thought that it was just so dirty. I thought everything was dirty. And one thing, a pet peeve about mine is seeing people's feet dirty, like at the bottom.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when I looked around everywhere, I swear,
Dirty
dirty feet was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you walk around them slides with them black ass feet? And then the dogs walk around like they're homeless.
Yeah.
Okay? And they kept brushing their little mangy looking asses. I love dogs. I want everybody to know I love dogs. Dogs to me, they have a special place in my heart, but I'm a cat woman now.
Okay.
But, like I was saying, them dogs was rubbing against my legs, and I'm looking at them. They didn't look like the type of dogs you want to pet.
Yeah.
They was mangy.
Yeah.
And I was crying because of that. And I cried 10 times worse because I was pregnant. And then I'm going back and forth with my husband, on the phone, and still not telling him nothing. Like, why is she so emotional? And I keep saying husband. I wasn't even married yet.
Dang. And trying to figure it all
Trying
out.
to figure out how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Ain't told him I'm just a little 20-year-old girl, knocked up before marriage.
Do you think that played a part, your age, and how you parent?
I think I'm grown with my kids.
Yeah.
But I already have a specific path that I would like to say that I see for my kids. I let them speak with adults, and because I want them to understand they can speak to everybody. I feel like that gives them a voice to be heard. And I think that as kids growing up, they're able to hold on to that and say, hey, well, I was able to talk to this. I can speak my mind.
Right, yeah.
I think that's important.
Well, even like knowing your children, they articulate very well. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because we have a rule.
Yeah.
No closed doors.
Oh, I love that.
No closed doors.
Yeah.
Everything is out in the open. We're gonna talk about it. My daughter, she gets hurt. She wanna hold her tears. As a girl, now it's crazy, right? Check this out. My daughter try to hold her tears.
Yeah.
Like I'm strong. And then my son, that nigga let that shit out. Everybody look at me. I'm looking at him like, nigga, it ain't that serious. But again, release your inner thoughts. And I'm like, okay, Tony, be kind to him. I'm just looking at him like.
But that's beautiful though that he can even express that.
You're right. I mean,
a lot of men don't do that.
I give it to him.
The first time I saw my husband cry, I was like, men cry?
Yeah,
like,
my husband, he's
what?
We've been married for 11 years, and I've probably seen him cry twice.
Same, yeah.
Twice. Mm-hmm. He shifts very quick, and he gets up, he gets on it. Mm-hmm. Boom, real quick. But that took time. That took time.
And
okay?
growing together,
And growing
like you said.
together.
Yeah.
Because again, relationships is a choice. It's a choice.
Every day.
Every day. And people get confused. They think it's love. No, it's love too, but it's a choice.
Yes.
And y'all have to both understand and choose each other.
Because do I like you every day is more important than do I love you. I don't care what anybody says. I remember being headsprung and in love and all that, and I'm like, wait a second, do I actually like these people? Do we have something that we can actually talk about for real?
Yes,
because
there's
that
a difference.
matters. Yeah, it
and
really
like
does.
you said, being liked and liking someone and loving someone,
very different.
I always say, hey, like me first, because you can love me and stab a knife in my back. Be kind, girl.
Be kind,
Be
girl.
kind, girl. But that is the truth.
It is so true. I used to operate a lot off of love, and it didn't do anything but get my heart broken.
You're right.
Because I'd be like you said, I love you, I'm gonna do everything for you, but that other person does not always feel that way.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Let me ask you this. Did you deal with any type of self-identity after children?
Every single day. So he just turned 1.
Okay.
And I feel like every day, happy birthday, baby. Every day I'm dealing with who I was, who I want to be, and who I am. Spiritually, I will say that I tapped in a lot to like my spiritual self, having conversations with God, also having conversations with my dad. My dad passed away in 2021, but I truly feel like he sent me this baby. Aww. Because, oh my God, that made me crying. But to be like completely honest, I think that when I got pregnant was ironic because it was a week after my bachelorette party. I had just turned 30 and I was trying to, get up because I'm in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Couldn't get drunk. And
like, what's going on?
What is going on? Planning this massive wedding that I thought I always wanted and dreamed about.
Didn't even get to enjoy it because you pregnant.
Drinking 0 alcohol tequila on my wedding day.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Who else to understand you better than me?
Yeah. We were doing the same thing.
We did the same thing.
Oh
yes.
my God. But no, I think that every day, to answer your question, yes, every single day. And I'm fighting with the fact of this little boy is gonna watch me and his father every day and figure out if we're good human beings in the end of it.
That's beautiful. A lot of people don't think about who my kids view me
exactly
as a person.
Yes.
To other people, how I treat other people. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Bump being mommy and daddy, like, do you think I'm a good person?
Yeah.
Because I know for me, like, I love my parents down, but until I was 25, my mom was Superwoman, and she still is. But now knowing she's Superwoman, but she's still a woman. She was just a girl, you know? But I got my cards read when I found out I was pregnant, and they said that I would be the first to heal my bloodline. So I know you know, but I'm adopted, and being adopted, everybody's like, oh, you found like your chosen family and whatnot. And that's wonderful, but when I found out I was in 3rd grade, the identity that you speak of started then.
Oh, goodness.
Because I'm like,
asking questions like, who am I?
Who am I? I love these people that I'm with, but I don't look like them.
How old is 3rd grade?
I think it's like 8 or 9.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I've always been super inquisitive.
So then let me ask you this. How did they come up and about to telling you that?
So my mom didn't plan it, but I was asking her birthing questions because I've always been obsessed with like childbirth and children. So I was asking her like, well, how was I born? And what was your delivery like with me? And she was like, I wasn't planning on telling you this today, but you were adopted. And that's when we kind of got into it. And when I turned 18, she gave me all of the paperwork to like actually look into the family history.
8 years old, finding out. Do you remember that specifically?
Yep. I remember where I was because she was getting ready to wash my hair. I don't know if your mama used to wash her hair like laying on the sink.
Yeah, laid back.
So my little pad was out and I was like, Mom, da 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 da. And I remember her telling me that day and being like, what the f?
So did you ask more questions after that?
I did. I still ask questions now. And I'm 30 years old. But now I know my biological dad's side and I've spoken to my biological mom's side, but
if you could change anything, how it happened, would you?
About like my family?
Yeah, if you can control anything, would
Absolutely
you?
not. because I grew up in the best family possible, and I know that. Like,
Perfect.
It wasn't like a
So you don't ever question yourself. Did you find yourself questioning yourself?
yeah for a long time.
Wow. And then another thing, having a kid, knowing that you probably parent different. Do you parent different?
Totally.
Do you find yourself parent different from your adoptive parents?
Yeah.
Or did you feel like you had certain ways of being treated compared to how you treat your son? You look at it that way or no?
I'm definitely trying to make sure it's that way because I love them. They did wonderful, like I said, but I think that it took me a lot longer to find my voice based on some of the things that happened. Not anything bad, but they were both ex-military, so they didn't spank or whoop or anything, but they did, you know, every so often raise their voice. And to this day, I don't like when people raise their voice, but I in turn raise my voice now.
Yeah. So you actually found your voice after marriage and kid.
Yeah. Like when people talk about, you know, women having children and things, I always knew I was going to be somebody's mommy, and I could tell you that when I was in like kindergarten, and I knew that.
Same here.
Yeah.
But I didn't really fool with kids like that. It's like I knew I want kids, but I don't really like kids.
Not everybody kid now, no. Because there's too many crazy things, and I don't want you thinking nothing about me. I just want to wave to your baby.
Yeah. I don't want to touch. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to say too many different things because parents is funny.
They are.
Very, very funny.
Yeah, including me now. I get it.
So let me ask you this, because I experienced this with my husband. Like when we had our first child, you know, jumping straight in to baby. We ended up getting married after that.
Yeah.
Quickly came later the baby. But our relationship changed after kids.
Boy, does it, yeah.
We get married quick. We experience a brief together of fun. I can't drink. You know what I'm saying? We go out, now we have dates. Pregnant, you know.
Big P.
And then after that, baby. And we're both young. How did you deal with that? How are you dealing with that? Because there's other women going through that, and it's so boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And they think that a baby's gonna make a difference.
It'll make a difference, all right. I don't know if you're gonna want that difference, but it's gonna make a difference. Same with us though, because we got married and we went on this beautiful honeymoon to St. Lucia, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get lit. Can't get lit because got a baby.
Yes.
But it definitely has changed our dynamic in the fact of we are now partners more than I thought we would ever be. When my dad died, I was kind of like, you know, it's us now.
Yeah.
But now that we have Jackson, it's us now. Like, yeah, he goes to grandma's house every day while we're working. But like, if he needs something for real, we gotta do it. So I will say that it makes it more into the business sense, I feel like, because now...
Business?
Yeah, a little bit. Just because of the scheduling and the planning that goes into it.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, but there's still romantic element.
Family is business.
Yeah. Think about your schedules with all your babies.
That is a business.
Who is picking them up? Who is doing this? Well, you got to pay
You're running
these
a
dues.
family
You got to
business.
do all that. Yeah, no, for real. And then like romantically, it's changed too because now it's
oh my
like,
God, that's just like I look at it like you saying that, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different aspect of how you view that.
it is, because we were together for 8 years before we got married. Wait,
Damn.
no, 6. And I'm not gonna lie, I was bullshitting a lot, just like having fun, partying, doing whatever. We lived together and we were having fun together, but I was the bigger partier, just kind of hanging out and doing whatever I wanted to do. And
She was turned up.
I was turned. I was lit. I was a YN at one point,
Oh,
but now
God.
I'm not anymore.
Oh God.
I'm
a YM.
A YM.
A young mom.
Yeah, young mom.
A young mom.
Yeah, but now, so that had to change too, because that whole dynamic of you can't just freely go nowhere. But romantically, I will say that it's been a work in progress, because a lot of the times, I'm not gonna hold you, I can get to the point where I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I want it this way.
And this is it.
And this is it. And he won't argue with me, but we definitely gonna have a back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different trying to relove your partner And I will say we love, and I love him to death. But
Yeah.
and he told me when I came on the show to overly explain, so that way it don't come across know what kind of way.
I understand
Yeah.
love, because you have to understand how to love him as a father.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like men are completely different after their husbands and after their fathers.
Yes.
So you see a different phase from them. And as a
Yes.
woman, some women don't take the time to re-love their men.
Yeah,
And they go
'cause they
out
don't want
there.
to.
They
They're
don't want
resentful.
to. It's different.
Or they're single married women, because that's another thing that happens a lot, where you are
Yeah.
moms and da 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 da, but your husband isn't supportive.
You're right.
Yeah.
That man could be there. He could be physically there, but not mentally there.
Exactly.
And women don't talk about that enough.
They don't.
We need to talk about that, because
We do.
that's a real thing.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know, that man need to get his ass up and be a little bit more present.
Exactly. Like, even, I mean, I know this happens to you, but I know for us, like when we go on work trips, everybody's like, "Where's Jackson?" I'm like, "With his dad." And they're like, "Wait, what?" Yes, this man is capable. He know how to change a diaper and feed him. What, you know?
Here we
like,
go.
But
Here we go.
I know
Look,
you hear
here
that all the time.
All the time. People hit
'Cause
me
they're
like,
shocked.
"Where are your kids at?" I'm like, they with the grandma? I'm like, no, they're with their father.
Spell it out. D-A-D. Who you thought they would? Come on now. Yeah.
So, my head-
But it's shocking still to a lot of people that, like, I can leave
Let me tell you,
baby.
ladies, be kind with your man, okay? Make sure you leave them babies with their daddy.
Yeah.
Leave them with their daddy, because they're not a babysitter. They're the father.
Give me that.
And the father needs to be able to spend time with their baby.
By
So drop them off by themselves.
Right.
You don't gotta chaperone. You don't gotta sit here and supervise, because
all.
that's something that daddy can teach that child that you can't. So drop that
Exactly.
kid off. Even if you feel
Exactly.
uncomfortable, that daddy got, unless he's some type of like mass murderist. I don't know, you know. Yeah, that might be a little
Hopefully
scary
not.
then.
Hopefully
But
not.
if he
Yeah.
is, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you feel comfortable, drop him off. But okay, so another thing that I feel that after you have
Yeah.
baby, marriage, you can also you can go through postpartum depression.
Yes. Yeah.
Postpartum depression is a real thing, and they say that 13% of women in the US that are first-time mothers
Yeah.
experience postpartum depression.
Ain't no way it's that low. I think there's something wrong with
Well, they
that
say in the US,
Yeah, but still, that's what I'm talking about, in the U.S. I
Well,
think
you're
it's
right.
too low. Somebody's not saying something.
but then also they say that over the past couple of years, mothers, for first time to be mothers, are now at 27 to 29 years
Yeah.
old. So mothering now isn't
older.
back in the day like they was dang on 15 years
15.
old. These is old mamas. These are senior mamas.
Yeah, no, I was a geriatric pregnancy, and I was like, excuse
Oh,
me.
you look. This is an old mother.
I'm an old bitty, but I don't care.
YM.
YM.
You're
But I
YM.
did that on purpose. I will tell you that. I wanted to be that age.
Really?
And I literally sat actually in this office and said, well, as long as I'm 30 when I have a baby, I'll be good. And then God
You
was
did it.
like, okay.
You said it,
on
we
your
gonna make it
30th
happen.
birthday, you go find out.
Hello.
Yeah. But no, I think for me, I needed that time because I needed to get all that out of my system.
Okay.
I'm not somebody who can multitask in that arena of
Yeah.
like trying to party and stuff. Now, I'm still fun, but I'm selectively
She said,
fun.
look, before this baby, mama was a wild stone. What is it, a rolling
Oh,
stone?
no, I went rolling, but
A wild stone?
a wild. I'll
Where's
be a
going?
wild
We gonna throw
stone.
it. Knock it.
I'll be a wild stone.
Okay, so
but
let me
not
ask you
rolling.
this. Let me ask you this, okay? Did you experience any type of postpartum?
No,
You
because
didn't?
everybody was all up and through our house around me. We were really supported, and my husband had paternity leave. So he was with me for 4 weeks.
So we also don't talk about that enough with men experiencing postpartum after first children,
Yeah.
like a first child. So do you think your husband experienced any postpartum?
For sure.
Or did he experience it and you didn't?
I think we both did, but I think we experienced it as a
Wow.
couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he didn't really talk about it a lot to me, but yeah, I definitely think, because he had a lot of life changes outside of just having a baby
Yeah.
that were happening during that time.
Okay. Well, wow.
Yeah.
So I enjoy talking to you on Kind Girls Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And let me ask you this before we go, okay?
Okay.
If you could make a difference in this world, you got one thing that you could do to make a difference in this world.
Yeah.
What would it be, and how would you help?
Oh my gosh. That's a really good question. I kind of feel like we do that. I'm doing that right now a little bit with what we do with Sheen. So, with the mothers, with the business owners, with the whoever it is, giving them the opportunity to tell their story.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, like you said, they don't feel like they matter, or they have identity issues, or they feel like they've never been seen before. And now with the platform that, you know, has been created, you can have all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on Kind Girls
you for
Talk
having
and
me.
releasing your inner thoughts and keeping it real.
Yes, we got to do it again.
Yes, I would love to have you. So y'all, make sure you tune in to our episode next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
It's gonna drop, and make sure you subscribe to our channel at Kind Girls Talk. Remember, ladies and gents, keep it kind.